Green light, let's get it. I'm the future, I'm in it. Check score, I'm winning. Green light, let's get it. I just win. I'm on 10. Hello, I'm Himothy. I got the recipe. I got the flow. I got the remedy. I know they do. I know they envy me. Feet on the floor. What they gon' say now? We came alone from last place. Bottom to top of the fast pace. Out of this serve, I get touchdown. I take a look, get it back.
What it do, fam? You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole, and welcome to our Baltimore Ravens recap show. Joining me is Bowie TV's Ravens beat reporter Carita Parks. Carita is also founder of Double Take Sports. What's going on, Carita?
What's up?
I feel you. I feel the energy already. I'm with you. I'm the same way. We here in the same way.
We here.
On Sunday, the Baltimore Ravens got a big road victory over the Cincinnati Bengals 24-0. A shutout. Defense played hard. Before we dive into the game, we got to knock out some logistics. Hey, you can subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. You can check out our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel and also Bowie TV's YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support our shows. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. You can also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, before we dive into this game, we got to hit the norm. We're going to play Carita's rundown about what happened on Sunday.
Yes. For the first time since college, Joe Burrow was shut out, and it was at the hands of the Baltimore Ravens, who took care of business in Cincinnati with a 24-0 win. This was a much-needed win for the Ravens, who still have their eyes on the division. This defensive performance was top level. Marlon Humphrey joked that Ed Weed came to practice this week, and maybe that's why they played so well. Here's what Lamar Jackson had to say on his defense holding it down today.
The defense played lights out, man. Holding it. I feel like a high-power offense, man. Joe Burrow. We could have had Joe out there, man. Joe Flacco out there. It's a high-power offense, man. Got Jamar Chase and Chase Brown, those guys. Leonard Brown at tackle. Those guys, for them to stop those guys and for those guys not to have no points on the board, that's tremendous, man. Hats off to our defense.
Prior to the game, Kyle Hamilton was heard in the tunnel saying, if we win this game, we end their season, which is exactly what happened. Here's more from Hamilton on that statement.
Whenever you have an opportunity to propel yourself and put a division opponent in a worse position, obviously it's double whammy. So I'm glad we got the opportunity to do that and took advantage of it.
As you know, Lamar Jackson is never satisfied, and he always wants to put more points on the board, but the Ravens were able to get 17 today. The other points came from a defensive turnover. After the game, I talked to DeAndre Hopkins about what went so well for the Ravens offense today. He pointed out explosive plays, which he had one of his own.
What went well was explosive plays. We really don't get a lot of explosive plays like that. Especially against defense like this. So, I guess last two games, we haven't, had explosive plays. And so just kind of getting back to our ball.
The Ravens are back in prime time next Sunday with a big matchup against the Patriots. Zay Flowers, he said they're already looking forward to next week.
We're going to ride the momentum, but we're on to next week. This game over. We got to win. We got to win out. So that's what we're planning on doing.
This is Carita Parks. That's been your Ravens Rundown. Be sure to follow Bowie TV on all platforms at Bowie TV Sports, and you can find us on Comcast in Prince George's County.
As always, great work by Carita. That was an interesting game. The Ravens, they shut them out. First off, I want to compare it to what we saw last week. Last week, obviously, Lamar said he was frustrated But going on to this week, like, how was the locker room now compared to what you saw last week? Obviously, a win is better, but what was the vibe in terms of, how big this win was for this team?
Yeah, the vibes in the locker room were good. I mean, they had music playing. So everybody was in a good mood. And I know prior to the game, Lamar was talking about not losing to another divisional opponent or losing again to a divisional opponent. So I know that he knew the importance of the game. They knew the importance of this game, but the vibes were good.
Yeah, I'm sure Lamar was happier, right, compared to what you saw.
Oh yeah,
last
he was
week.
Joking and he was joking around.
Okay, good.
He was saying he was late to the plane because there was traffic, I guess, due to the Army-Navy game.
Yeah,
He was like he hadn't been late this year, so he said every time I'm late, we have a good game, and he's like, but he hadn't been late this year. So he was like, yeah, I thought he was just saying I thought we would have a good game because I was late. So.
Okay, well, I'm glad.
Saying, I think you should let me be late more often.
We all love Happy Lamar.
Yes,
we all love Happy Lamar. So, all right, well, let's dive into like this defensive performance. They shut out Joe Burrow. It seemed like Joe Burrow was frustrated throughout this game. Why were they able to frustrate Joe Burrow so easily? Well, not so easily, but why were they able to frustrate Joe Burrow in this game to lead to a shutout?
Well, in my opinion, they got more pressure on him this game. And the last time he had a clean pocket for the most part. And I know Draymond Jones, who was a big part of the pressure, said that he did more studying leading up to this game because he didn't like how he played last game. And then I do believe that getting Tavius Robinson back, who had been out couple weeks with a foot injury, having both of them in there, I really think made a huge difference because if I remember correctly, when Draymond Jones was added, I don't think Tavius Robinson was in the lineup, and if he was, it was very briefly.
Yeah, I don't think he was either.
If I remember correctly. So I think having them together, it just allows Draymond to do what he needs to do more. And even Tavius had a sack. So the pass rush was much better this game. And then they did a good job the first time containing Jamar Chase in the big picture. But once again, they didn't let him get as many explosive plays.
Yeah.
So I just think that the secondary did what they needed to do, and then the defensive front did as well, and that made a huge difference and just allowed the defense to. Now, a shutout is a huge accomplishment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and that is true. The Ravens are inconsistent from week to week, so you don't know. That's why if you watch the show, I didn't.
See, I wasn't bringing that up, Carita. We ain't gotta go there. We don't gotta go there.
To be honest, because of that inconsistency, I could not say that they would have the kind of performance they had.
Because you a stand-up person.
But I did say I hope they do get the win.
Yeah.
But I just at that point wasn't confident. And I mean, even with that win, you still don't know what's going to happen next week because that's the kind of season it's been. But I'm hoping, but on the real, the energy with Lamar is different. And I do feel like that. And it seems like he's starting to get more comfortable again with scrambling. So maybe he's just starting to get into a better place. And I do think that makes the difference.
I do. I think he's definitely looking more comfortable. Like to your point, I think he's feeling more, he's in his groove, right? He's running a little bit more. He feels
like just his vibe, like I said, joking around. And when I think about it, I do remember, I can't remember which day it was. I don't know if it was Thursday or Friday. I do remember looking around and thinking to myself, they're in really good spirits considering the situation, right? And I thought that was a positive thing. It was just something that crossed my mind. But now that They
That's
won,
right.
and I look back, I'm like, yeah, they were in a good place going into that game, at least emotionally.
Yeah, I mean, look, they definitely played like their backs against the wall. To what Junior Sue said, yeah, definitely like they're inconsistent, but you could tell like they were very motivated. Also added that like to what you said earlier, Carita, Ed revisited practice this week, and I've heard he laid them out. Yeah, he laid them out. So yeah, to your point, Ed Reed probably they need to have Ed Reed practice more often.
They I don't know what he said. Nobody has really elaborated on what he said, but Marlon Humphrey gave some hints in the sense of, well, he said more on his podcast than he said in the locker room, but he was just basically like, he did say, Ed Reed was like, basically let him know. And he did say in the locker room that Ed Reed is very unfiltered in what he says. So whatever the case may be, I'm like paging Ed Reed until the end of the season, please.
Yeah, he better be on deck.
But in all seriousness, we also have to give credit to Zach Orr because he called that game. You know,
it was
like a very good example of having a good game plan, but executing that plan.
I think I think that's a fact. I mean, he needs to get credit for this, man. He shut out Joe Burrow and company. That should let you know. But there's something that you said that I totally agree with you. What you mentioned the pressure they put on Joe Burrow and hitting him often. You could tell that rattled him because he was kind of complaining for like late hits and whatnot. You could tell the Ravens were being very physical with Joe Burrow.
Yes.
And they weren't late hits, they were actually legit hits, but they were being very physical with him. So yeah, I think that to your point, that game plan of just imposing your will defensively, I think it worked because he wasn't comfortable throughout that game. And even the interception that Kyle Van Noy had, and when he gave it to Gilman, like you could see that play, like he just threw that one up. It wasn't like a Joe Burrow type of throw. Usually Joe Burrow doesn't like throw the ball up for grabs. That one was like, and pressure's coming.
Tavius Robinson, who got through the middle and was lunging for him, which made him comfortable. Like you said, and he just kind of threw it up there.
Yeah. So, and that was a great play. That shout out to Van Noy to know the situation. No, I can't take it to the house and hand it off to Gilman for him to take it to the house. Like he did it correctly too. He handed it to him. He didn't pitch it.
Not throwing it.
Yeah, like that was smart.
It was like, here you go.
Seriously. I'm serious. That's like
no, for real. I was cracking up because I was like, Kyle Van Noy was like, look, I ain't even got it in me. Let me let the young boy do it.
Yeah.
Y'all need to let it go.
I know. Everybody hates it. I know everybody dislikes him. But yeah, I hope I'm wrong. But man, beating the Patriots is a very tall task. Yeah, the Patriots playing good football. Wayne said, this is a must win this weekend or our season is over. Like I think Carita said it before in the past, like every game's a must win at this point in time. So Carita said
you heard in what I post game, Dave Flowers, he was like, we got to win out.
Yeah. So pretty much it's already said. So John Harbaugh emphasizes complimentary football all the time. Was this the most complete game that the Ravens played this season to you?
Yes, and he even said that. He was like,
he
said this was the best game of the season in his opinion. And everybody was like, special teams didn't do nothing crazy, but they did their job essentially. They didn't do anything to turn the game to mess anything up or give good field position. So they did what they needed to do. Obviously, the defense was on it, and with the offense, they scored like they needed to score. But truthfully, they weren't even on the field that much.
Yeah.
So hey, they got their 17 points, and scoring before halftime, I think, was very important too.
Yeah, that play is
they got a field goal, but still adding to their lead.
They got a touchdown right before half, right?
No, it was a field
goal. Yeah, that field goal, the last field goal is true. That's true.
but just adding to their lead,
Mhm.
I think was very important in that moment before halftime.
Mhm.
And that was also a good example of what they should have did against the Steelers. Like
Mhm.
they got the ball up the field urgently.
Mhm.
So that was good. Second half, they didn't score anything, but like I said, they weren't out there that much.
Yeah. That touchdown, the touchdown to Zay, to give him 14, that was a perfect pass by Lamar. That was awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, you had, I mean, Derrick Henry, everybody did their part. I mean, I did feel like Zay, like Lamar could have way more. I feel like Lamar could have still had way more yardage and touchdowns. There are a couple of drops out there.
Well, they had one in the. I have to look. I have to look at that play again.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. I think it may have been a little high, but then I also feel like they got up there, just didn't bring it in.
He got there. He should have caught it. It was while on TV. It hit both hands. It was a little high. Don't get it wrong. It was a little high. Like it wasn't the perfect pass, but it was catchable. He still should have caught it. It wasn't like it was a little high. I won't lie. It wasn't, but he had two hands firm on it. That's why he looked real frustrated. He still should have caught it.
So that definitely should have been a touchdown. And from my vantage point, like I said, he was on the other side of the end zone, so it was a little hard to see. I could tell it was a little high, but it was just hard for me to see if he was capable of bringing it in or not. So you kind of confirmed that. So
from the
so that should have been a touchdown. So those are just, they still got little things they need to clean up, but that was their most complete game of the season, in my opinion. Clearly, like I said, Coach Harbaugh mentioned that as well.
All right, with the Ravens back in the AFC North race, have an opportunity to win the division. People already mentioned the Patriots, New England Patriots next. What does this win tell you about where this team is mentally and physically going into that game, and also hopefully for a postseason run?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I look back on the locker room, there was, and I don't want to make it, I mean, for this to have been this type of season that they've been having where it's up and down, the energy in the locker room has been fine. It's just, they were kind of just more, it was more jovial though, and like Lamar was joking around, and he was like he was present, and he's always present in the locker room, but when media come in, sometimes they go do their thing, So he was around, and guys were like chilling, and so I just feel like if that is the energy they could continue to have. They said they had a really good week of practice. I do think winning against the Bengals is a confidence booster, not just winning, but shutting them out. You're not going to get shutouts all the time. So we know that. Yeah. But it just kind of lets you know, like going into the next game, this is what we're capable of. We got to keep doing this. They did have some injuries, though. Cheeto Awuzie, he has a foot injury. Coach Harbaugh said we got to see as the week goes on how that pans out for him. Teddy Buchanan tore his ACL. Yeah. So don't know if those things are going to have an impact or not. Cheeto, I would be concerned about him because, he's been good in the secondary.
Yeah, he has been.
So I think they need him. But those are that would be my only caveats. Hopefully injury doesn't. Trenton Simpson will probably have to step up at linebacker.
And Tampa's at corner. Tampa plays the other cornerback position when he's out, right? Is Tampa playing? Tampa? So yeah, it's definitely, I think that they can build on this victory because like, especially the defense, then now know that you could take out, like because we always talked about some of the offenses they kind of played well against, not having that particular quarterback, like the elite quarterback. Now you did this against Joe Burrow, an elite quarterback who has been playing good football since coming back from injury. So they can kind of hone in on this, saying like, okay, it doesn't matter who's out there at quarterback. Our defense is capable of, it's hard to shut a team out, but we're capable of shutting the team down.
Yeah, it's hard to shut the team out.
Yeah,
but to me, one of the biggest difference makers was the pass rush, because that has been missing the past couple weeks. And I feel like if they can continue to make quarterbacks uncomfortable, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I just wish the Ravens were not like, fighting for their life to get into the playoffs because seriously, the Chiefs, the AFC is wide open with the Chiefs. The Bills aren't even playing as good as anticipated. So, like,
it is wide open in the AFC. That's a fact. It is wide open.
I just wish the Ravens were like in a little bit of a better spot where they didn't have to win out and fight for their life to get into playoffs, because it really is like the prime opportunity.
It is. It really is. So, Carita, before we end this stream, how can folks catch you on social media? And how can they catch your content for Bowie TV? And also, how can they catch your great content for Double Take Sports?
So you can catch me on social media at Carita C. Parks. I have some good content from Sunday. So you should definitely.
You always got good content. Stop doing that. You always got good content.
I do, but I'm saying like I have a lot to unload. I have a lot that I had to unload off of my camera. So that's what I mean. Like I had numerous good clips from Sunday. So
all right, cool.
Check that out. I also had a good conversation with D-Hop. So I think I have another clip to post from that. Awesome. Then additionally, my Ravens content is also on Bowie TV Sports. So that's at Bowie TV Sports on all platforms. Also, you can catch that on Comcast in Prince George's County. And then Double Take Sports, that's my sports media brand where we do almost all the sports. And so make sure you follow that at Double Take Sports. Sorry, that's at DBL Take Sports on all platforms, but it's called Double Take Sports.
There you go. Y'all can see it. It's on the banner right here. It's coming. It's scrolling out. All the Carita's affiliations and whatnot. You know what I mean? So y'all already know. There you go right there. I see it. There you go. So make sure y'all go ahead, chop it up, copy it. Whatever y'all do. I don't know what y'all be doing, but whatever y'all do, just do it.
Anyway, do it.
Just do it. Hey, anyway, man, I appreciate everybody in the chat for pulling up, man. Y'all were dope. Like your questions, like your comments. I saw there was a Patriots fan in here. Just wait till next week, man. You like Tom Brady. I know. I see you. I just want to acknowledge that I saw your comment. But anyway, man, appreciate everybody for pulling up. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene by ages. Ayedig Deuces. We are out.